Hello YouTube, got my first Wi-Fi battle. My name's Bosscopter. I have a pretty close battle with my friend Steven. If you like the way he battles, I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. So I start off with my Zangoose. He starts with Fortress. I use close combat on it. Doesn't do much because Fortress is a physical wall. He sets up light screen to raise special defense. So I withdraw my Zangoose and I'll go into my Mismagius. He sets up a layer of toxic spikes, so he regains some health through leftovers, because that's what tanks mostly have. So I set up a substitute. I regain health through leftovers, and so does he, again. So he withdraws his fortress and sends out his Rotom, or Wet Larry. I use Nasty Plot to raise my special attack. And I regain some health through leftovers again. I use Shadow Ball because it's super effective against Rotom, but it will do less than half because of light screen. And so he uses Shadow Ball on my substitute, which will take it out, and I regain health through leftovers, and so does he. And the light screen will wear off, but I set up another substitute just in case. So he uses Shadow Ball, which will fade my substitute again. So he gets more leftovers, and so do I. I use Shadow Ball, which will kill off this Rotom. Sorry about that. So I regain health through leftovers. He sends out his Jolt Bolt, or Jolteon. I switch out to my Uxie, but I did not know this thing had Shadow Ball. So it will do a big chunk of damage to me. Actually, less than half.
Dang, all Jolteons carry Shadow Ball, you know that, right?
Yeah. So, he uses Shadow Ball again, and it was super effective. So I live with 98 HP, but I had a misclick and accidentally clicked Thunderbolt. So that was a really bad move. So I switch out to my Zangoose, and he will use Shadow Ball, which doesn't affect me because I predicted that he will use Shadow Ball again to kill off my Uxie. So instead, now he uses Thunderbolt, which will not kill me, and I use a return to kill his Jolteon. So he sends out Chuck, or Shaman. This thing is pretty bulky, so I use a quick attack to get some damage on that Shaman. So he uses Hidden Power, which will kill me off. Gets a crit, but it really doesn't matter. So I send in my Milotic, and it will. The reason I sent this out because, well, it knows Ice Beam and Marvel Scale, which it gets poisoned if ability will take effect. So I use Ice Beam on the Shaman. It won't kill it because this Shaman's pretty bulky. It will Leech Seed me because you get some health back, so it doesn't die easily. I get hurt by poison. Shaman uses Seed Flare, which will do a pretty big chunk of damage to me. So I use my Ice Beam to get some more damage on the Shaman, and before my Milotic dies. So Milotic dies right here because of Leech Seed and Toxic, or Poison. So I send in my Scizor, Shiny, so it uses Bullet Punch. It will kill this because of Stab, Technician, and Life Orb. So he sends out his Victini. I'm like, oh shit, I better get out of there. So I withdraw it and send out my Uxie. And it will use Fire Blast, which will kill this Uxie. So I switch out to my Gardevoir because he has very high special attack and defense, and it will use Shadow Ball, but it won't necessarily kill it. But it uses Thunder on me, and it doesn't kill the Gardevoir. So he withdraws his Victini and sends out his Fortress. Shadow Ball will do pretty much nothing to it because it is not very effective. So it regains health through leftovers. I am getting hurt by poison, so I send out my Mismagius. So he sets up another light screen. I'm like, oh, come on. So I regain health through leftovers, and so does he. and I will use Nasty Plot to raise my special attack, and he will use Gyro Ball, which will do a pretty big chunk of damage to this Mismagius. So we have leftovers. We gain some health. So I use Thunderbolt, and it will not kill it, but it will kill me off with Gyro Ball. So I send out my Gardevoir, hopefully to get some more damage on this. It will use Psychic, which is not very effective. Oh well. Uses Gyro Ball to kill me off. So now I send out my Scizor or Boss Copter. I will use Swords Dance to raise my attack. It will use Gyro Ball, but it will do nothing to me because Scizor is part Steel, and that's pretty much the only attack it can attack me with. So his light screen wore off, but it doesn't really matter because Scizor is my physical attacker. Sends out his Victini, and I predict the switch, so I use another Swords Dance. So I use Bullet Punch to kill this thing off before it does any damage to me. And his Victini will die. It will send out his Murkrow, and it will create a substitute because of, well, I'm not sure what the ability is, but I'll find out soon. So, it will send up another substitute. I will use Bullet Punch to take it out. But he had a misclick. He said he was going to put in Pear Song, and if he did put in Pear Song, he definitely would have won. So, it will use Roost, and then I will use Bullet Punch right here to take it out, and now he is down to his Fortress. So I am going to use Roost just in case he gets a crit on Gyro Ball, because you never know, it could happen. So now he uses Gyro Ball, which again will do. It was a crit, so yeah, that's what I meant. I use Swords Dance just to stall, because I need some more attack to kill this thing, because it's also part Steel. So he's Gyro Ball, not very effective. Regains health through leftovers. I use Bullet Punch. It will not kill it necessarily. It's very close to dying. It uses Gyro Ball, and I will use Bullet Punch one last time to kill it off. Very great battle, Steven. This is my very first video, and yeah, thank you. Subscribe, Plox.
Decent video, decent commentary. It'll get better with